welcome to my channel. Hi everybody, it's 7 p.m. and I'm heading out for my walk. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing fine. And I've been, busy talking to you guys for the better part of the day. And I hope that your stuff is going okay on YouTube and in your life. So anyway, tonight, a little later on, I'm going to be continuing the discussion of Melanie and her mysterious 1996 disappearance. So stay tuned for that, and I'll talk to you later. I wanted to let you know it's been taking me a very long time to get to all of my new subscribers' channels. I'm so pleased to meet you all. Please don't give up on me. I would say that after subscribing to my channel and commenting, give it a good week or two. I'm sorry, guys, but I have been inundated with so many different new subscribers, and I love the channel. So I'm getting to you one by one. It's very hard for me to integrate all of my regular daily visits with new ones. So bear with me. I love you all, and thank you very much for subscribing. I'm getting to your channels. Just wanted to get that out there because I know it's been a long wait. Even comments on my own channel. Sometimes I'll comment and then I'll have 50 more in the next minute. And it's I like that, but I can't keep up sometimes. You know what I mean? When I'm cooking dinner or when I'm putting together a video, I can't keep up. But don't give up on me. I love your channels, and I will visit you as often as I want and as often as time permits. Please remember, I'm not commenting on maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No Saturday, no Sunday comments. Because my network gets hacked by security every weekend, so no comments. You can comment on my channel, but I'm not going to be commenting on yours. So just to remind you one more time. Hi, guys. Well, I made it home and I took a 30-minute walk. I've been out of the house for about 3 hours. And so um, I'm feeling a little sore, but not at all out of breath. I didn't get out of breath. I think a little bit of my weight gain it's been starting to take its toll on me, and I can feel it. I can sense it when I walk. I'm not as chipper as I used to be and as energetic. So I need to work on getting this weight off. And so I'm thinking that um, that lemonade cleanse time is getting closer and closer. If not this week, I'm pretty sure this coming week. And but if not, it depends on how I'm feeling. If not, it'll be the following week because I don't want to put it off anymore. Now is the right time. And so anyway, um, I'm going to gather my notes and then I'll talk to you about the Melanie Edio case. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Hi guys, so here I am. We're ready to discuss part 7 of the Melanie Edio disappearance. And where we left off was that we were talking about a suspect, Dennis Lavelle, who was engaged to Melanie's mother's best friend at the time. And the end of our part 6 discussion led up to the incident where um, where Dennis was getting into so much trouble for trying to use a taser and violating the terms of his parole. And in 2013, again, for interference with someone under the age of 16, which means that he tried to uh, molest and assault this person. And that would be the girl who went ahead and pressed charges, and which we discussed just prior to that. So now we're ready to discuss the last part concerning Dennis Lavelle. And so while he was in prison, guys, he was visited by Melanie's mother, Celine. And she, at that time, realized and had begun to realize and hear things about Dennis Lavelle. And she automatically, for many years, suspected him. And she directly went to the prison to ask him about any of his possible involvement in her daughter's disappearance. But Dennis said that he could never hurt Melanie and suggested that maybe Goulet had done something to her. Now, we're going to be discussing Goulet in the next part, but let's just say for now that Goulet was an unsavory character who took it upon himself to target young black teens. And I say that because that's why he targeted them. They were Afro American or African, or they were of a dark complexioned um, skin. So he was very racist in his remarks to them, this Goulet person. And so he was he made headlines at one point. And so um, this is why Dennis bought him up. And so, guys, this goes back to what I was saying yesterday about lack of evidence, even though we may feel right in our bones that it's that certain someone. People have falsely confessed. I don't know why there is such a phenomenon of false confessions. And Dennis was reported as having confessed the disappearance of Melanie and another girl to one of his friends. So, the thing is, that we cannot find the physical evidence. And not only that, police are really holding back on the evidence. And why they're doing it is not really actually helping things any. All it is just they're hanging on to certain secret evidence is maybe because they want to continue to call it secret. And really, there's no need for it. Many criminologists and other detectives have commented on Ontario's very, very strange customary habit. But then again, they are claiming that they do that mostly to protect the public from hearing bits of information that will lead to further false confessions. And so, guys, this is very exasperating in every case which comes up as a cold case. All these false confessions, they're not doing anything good for anybody. And why would anybody want to go to jail for something that they didn't do? Anyway, that is why it is so essential that criminal cases are tried and based upon real evidence, because we don't want what happened, say for example, to G. Paul Moran in the Christine Jessup case. We don't want the same thing to happen. That was horrific. And so, you know, while in prison, he did suggest to Celine that he thought it probably was Goulet. And so, after the release of Dennis from prison, Celine again tried to make contact with Dennis, but he actually, unfortunately for Celine, suffered a debilitating stroke, and it happened the evening before she planned to confront him, and became paralyzed. And can you imagine getting out of jail and then becoming paralyzed? Somebody up there had it in for Dennis, that's for sure. And so he may have had a heart attack. So we don't know exactly what his health was while he was in prison, but he certainly was deteriorating, guys. He had a very bad health. And so he was paralyzed down one side of his body, and it also affected his vocal cords. And so, wow. So we couldn't speak to Celine. And so he uh, he would just be able to make certain sounds, and that would be it. According to his family, the stress around having to speak with Celine and the police may have caused him such serious breakdown that it triggered a stroke. Well, yeah, I would imagine so. Look what happened to Calvin Hoover, who was never apprehended by the police, but he lived in total fear. And in the end, he bought his own end by hanging himself. Or at least that is what is the alleged story. I'm not sure if somebody else did it to him. But he had a hard time coping with it. So, yes, stress from criminal activity and all the details that surround it, it can really do a number on the guilty party. Although it can also do a number on somebody with a bad health. So, I don't know how you want to take that stroke, but he had one, and that would have been the end of that. It's unfortunate that that happened. So, in a brief conversation, just 4 hours before the stroke occurred, Dennis met with his daughter Stephanie and asked her to speak for him when he spoke to Celine and to the police. And Stephanie said that her father confessed to lying about his alibi for that weekend during which Melanie went disappearing. And he did say that he went to a motocross competition. So I guess that would have been important in the way that he couldn't put together an alibi for the other lie that he said. And so it's still not good, guys. Yes, he looks very, very suspicious indeed, but we don't have the evidence that was necessary to convict him in this crime, unfortunately. And so, whatever he may have said, maybe he said it because he felt he was near his end and he didn't care anymore and he figured, well, I'm going to die anyway. I know that sometimes that is why certain criminals do confess due to a very poor and ailing health. I don't know about this. So he had been at a motocross competition and he had driven there in his sister-in-law's car, his brother's sister, wife, I should say, and it was either a beige Ford Tempo or a blue Toyota Tercel. So, however, Stephanie and her brother Jason doubt this version of events. And so, as three or of the four people who went on that trip owned pickup trucks that were better suited to transporting his dirt bike. And his sister in law has no memory of what she was doing that weekend besides the moment of. Besides the moment she learned about Melanie. So I know that that can be very true. Sometimes when you're at a stop sign or a stoplight and there's an accident, and you automatically forget everything that happened just before that. And sometimes it takes months of pure concentration to focus on what actually your memory of those few minutes before and after really was. Sometimes you can lose that memory for good. I know that that's what stress and trauma does. And so she says that because Melanie went missing that weekend, she forgot everything. And I believe her. I believe that. So, anyway, guys, 2 weeks later, on January 2016, in January 2016, Dennis died in the hospital. So he was close to his end when he told Stephanie that story. And so, wow, that's amazing. So, following Dennis's death, his family said that they came into possession of his medical records that indicate he experienced multiple personalities. So, wow. I don't know if the documents are in any shape or form with any police station, or if they're just allegedly saying that because he's gone and they don't have to be afraid of him anymore. I don't know. Stephanie has described witnessing her father's expression and mood change from normal to aggressive um, predatory states suddenly on various occasions. And she said that the diagnosis helps her understand some of his past behaviors that had previously been, you, well, attributed to medical opioids and stuff like that. So it wasn't just his medication and his drugs, um, but his personality disorder. So yeah, that would explain a lot. Only we don't know if it's actually true or not. So Stephanie also said that Dennis once confessed to her that he had dreams where he was Melanie's murderer. So that does sound like multiple personality disorder. And while hospitalized after his stroke, Dennis was approached by a private investigator who attempted to question him about the disappearance again. And so when the detective left, Dennis used his non paralyzed hand to grab his daughter's scarf and put it on her tightly, weakly strangling her until she offered to tell investigators to leave him alone. Okay, so that was his nonverbal way of saying, get him the heck out of here. So, yes, that was a very stressful end to a person's life, for sure. And so, according to family, Dennis did not begin displaying this odd behavior until around 1990, even though one of his accusers said that he assaulted her in the 80s when he was 14. Um, he or she, this may be a typo, but in the 80s, I don't think he would have been 14 in the 80s. She would have been 14. So, this is a typo. I don't know if it's mine or from online. So forgive me. In June 2021, two of his friends came forward to say that he had driven to their house while under the influence in 2013 or 2014 and confessed to killing Melanie, though he refused to say what he did with her body and later threatened them that if they ever shared what he told them, he would harm them. But guys, I I I don't think that that would have swayed me. Although he was a pretty torturous person, like he was very intimidating and very aggressive. So I say that not knowing, but I don't think that would have fazed me. I would have still reported it. You know what I'm saying? Why wait until a man dies to get the truth out of him? Um, for all I know, he could have been faking the loss of voice, but no, it could probably be true. It's hard to know how to take Dennis. We don't know, how far he would go to get out of telling the truth. And so, Melanie's mother, Celine, still maintains that she considers Dennis the prime suspect. Okay, yeah, for sure, because he definitely does figure high as a prime suspect, but he's just that, a prime suspect, and nothing more, because we don't have the evidence. We don't have his confession. We only have what he told friends and not police. And she does not believe, Celine, and I share this, does not believe that the police made an appropriate effort to investigate Dennis while he was alive. Sure, they didn't. They knew about his antics and his crimes, and they didn't do anything regarding Melanie. They didn't do anything. They figured, well, he's in jail. Case is over. No, that's not how it works. You get to the truth, no matter where that person is. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm typing as I'm going along. So Sylvie stated the police only spoke to her about Melanie's disappearance once, months after she disappeared, and never spoke to Dennis while he was alive. Now, guys, remember Calvin Hoover? I don't understand this. I don't understand why police do this. Do they think if they just investigate somebody on the slide that they're going to come up with all kinds of miraculous answers and solutions? I don't understand police tactics. I don't understand. The only thing that I can think of is that he had some family member connected to the police. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Police don't do that. at least not good police. And so I don't know where that came from. Really, I don't. And so, get this, police only began to talk to Stephanie in 2021 and never spoke to Jason, despite him being a part of the alibi. Now, guys, okay, mind you, he already said that he didn't remember. Jason didn't remember. But there's something wrong with police tactics. Um, they seem to be operating on a friends only basis. That's not, I'm sure I'm not speaking for all police departments in the province, but this is shoddy. This is shoddy. You know what I'm saying? And so some of Dennis's accusers have never been questioned or spoken to by police. No. Can you imagine that? And so I can imagine it. In a 2021 interview, Sylvie stated that she agreed with Celine that Dennis was responsible for what happened. No, that's not how it works, ladies. I know you want to put him behind bars or you want to put the right person behind bars, but that isn't how it works, unfortunately. It may be fortunately, or else everybody would be in prison, right? So, you know, police contend that they investigated Dennis before his death, but have offered no further comments. But no, because the detectives were still coming to the hospital. They didn't bother while he was in prison. Why? I don't understand, guys. I don't. When something is unsolved, you don't stop looking. That's really bad. I mean, look at what's going on with the Madeleine McCann case. Just because they're not finding evidence, that doesn't mean, oh, well, we're going to keep quiet and bye, everybody. We tried. Now, on to the next case. That isn't how it works. And so, this is very disappointing. So, Andre, the brother, he doubted he doubted that Dennis could have been involved in a violent crime. Well, he was, and he was put to jail for it. And he stated that he had no memory of where he was that weekend. Wow, everybody had amnesia on September the 28th. Wow. So, Andre and his long-term partner separated in 2020, but she still doesn't believe either of the brothers could have been involved in what happened to Melanie. That's it, guys. David Ridgen of the Next Call podcast very, very intelligently suggests that if Dennis were in fact responsible, he might even be the culprit behind other unsolved murders and disappearances in the region, including Tammy Lamondine, Pamela Jane Holopainen, they were both Aboriginal women, and Christina Kadeka in 2007. So those will probably be other women that I will speak on. But that concludes part 7 for the Melanie Edier disappearance. And so tomorrow night we will be continuing with a case of mistaken identity involving Melanie Edier. So I hope that you have enjoyed listening to my discussions today. I've had about 3 of them, right? And I thank you for coming along with me on my walk. And I know it wasn't much of a day. This was a day that I did a little bit of heavy work, so I'm kind of tired. And I still have my basil to wrap. I bought the cellophane yesterday, but I still haven't wrapped it. I have to lift the pots and wrap and I have to empty out the cabinet in the bathroom because now I have the new one there. And oh my God, guys, I have some work cut out for me still. But I am so glad that it's all coming into focus. And so, thank you very much for watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.